Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. PSR is excited to present to you Last Call, featuring your boy, the pimp slap POD, Mike M.
Pimpin' ain't easy, but it's fun like money. Got bookies on the run, now it's time to get money. Not your typical way to ball. It's last call like some convicts waiting on the next draw. You can feel the tension. Did I mention? Fools better pay attention, cause we getting paid like a pension. T's on the ones and twos, we not the ones that lose. Mike, money's killers, Mike even make the evening news.
And now, let's get to the picks.
We be pumping! Buzz Sports Radio, you know we be pumping! What up? What up? Welcome back in. Here we go. Monday, May 13th. It's Last Call, Pub Sports Radio, 6 p.m. You already know what we're getting into tonight. It's all about cooking them books. We're going to work together to get this cash. Mondays mean we bring in our guy, the specialist in the diamond here, the summer himself here, Jose Bouet will be joining us shortly to break into Major League Baseball. And I got to say, we have been cashing all over the place on the diamond. This weekend was a monster. Hopefully some of you guys were cruising along with us here with the live streams that we've been putting out there. That is where the cash has been. But that doesn't mean we can't start a new week and build a new stack. That's what it's all about, you guys. Smash that thumbs up button when you're cruising on in here and show the support. Help us crack the code and grow the 6 p.m. space that is Pub Sports Radio with Last Call and your boy. You guys know every day we bring on a new guest. They're all a specialist in their fields, respectively, and we have been kicking ass and taking names. Excited to start this week here. We're already in the middle of May. Who knew just around the corner will be Memorial Day, and then we're officially into the summer. That's how fast it goes, but that's because we're grinding on the daily. You guys already know we got a big card tonight. 2 NHL hockey games is where we'll start the show. Got the Carolina Hurricanes taking on the New York Rangers in do-or-die spot, followed up with the Colorado Avalanche and the Dallas Stars. Not do or die, but you could argue backs are certainly against the wall. Stakes are high. We'll move into Major League Baseball. We've got a full slate of games tonight. The Blue Jays Orioles are going to pop off here momentarily. The Tigers and the Marlins gave out some plays over there earlier today via the boys in the Sash, Dabby, Dutch, Trot Wham, Razor Sharp, LJ from H-Man. The crew was assembled, including Jose Bouet today. And we're getting going here. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. And then, of course, you guys already know you want to hear it. You want to talk about it. It's going to be the NBA. We'll wrap the show up. Celtics, Cavaliers. Those pop off at 7 o'clock, a couple of minutes thereafter. Then we've got the OKC Thunder game out there. And them Dallas Mavericks, 9:30 special. Lots of fun talking about that game earlier today. Sides are flying out there. Totals. Everybody's got something to say. And we've got props. We've got sides. We've got totals in those games out there. So it should be a lot of fun. You guys know we've got a lot of work to do, so we have to get to work. Let's get it cruising on here in the chat before we already do. You guys know the deal. Thumbs up, rule number 1. Grab a pen and paper. Rule number 2, you're going to want to write down all these plays here, not just for myself and the panel, but the chat is the sharpest chat in the business. And then last but not least, all we ask you guys to do is throw those plays in the chat. Let's see what you guys are trying to grind on tonight and see if we can't find some additional card ads out there based on your guys' hard work evaluating the card all day. Last call, you know what we do. We look at sides, totals, line movement, cash flow, all those details that you're going to need, last-minute injury analysis to get you paid. And we've been doing it on the regular consistently. Nobody's been smashing them books more than we have here on Last Call. Thanks to you guys coming in and your support and your best plays. Let's get into it. We'll give a recap, then we'll fly into this card. Let's see what's doing up there in the chat. And I already know. Joe T, guest number 1, commenter number 1, laying it on the line for us. Best bets here. He's got the Hurricanes Rangers first period over 1.5. Both teams to score in the first period plus 180. And the full game over 5.5. Live bet if the Rangers are leading in the third period. He's going Stars and Abs first period over 1.5 as well. Looks like he's got that ice hockey all laced up for us there. We'll put that on the big screen for everybody to see. Shout out to everybody. Excuse me. A difficult weekend of heavy consumption, and my voice is paying the price from today. So that is how it goes. But when you're making that cash, you can't stop. You got to stay on it while it's hot, baby. Let's go, Andrew G. WT, Joey Harb in the chat. There's Ron Walsack. He says Preakness number 4, the winner. Number 8, Tucson Gold, second or third. Trifectas 4-8, all 4, all 8 for our guy Kean. The 4 and the 8 on top, and then going all 4, all 8. If I'm reading that right, Ron Walsack, appreciate you dropping in. My guy Justin McCalvey's up there. Lots to talk about Justin today on the sesh. Apparently Dutch is looking to give you some cash, my guy. Hopefully you guys have been able to connect. He likes Rooshman over at 1.5 bases at plus 125 for our guy Justin. Gerald Jones in the house. His new week best bet today, Cubs and Braves first 5 under 4. And there's our guy, the Futon bet says, Shay G, double. Let's get this cash, buddy. Boston raced to 20 points first quarter. From our guy, the Futon bets. Juggler 23 giving us the wise guy moves there, giving us the trends as well. This is the NBA trend of the night. The second round playoff team scoring 102 points or less own a record of just 27 and 107 straight up, 26 and 101 against the spread. Only a 20.5% win rate over the last 7 seasons. It might be Cleveland, question mark. We will certainly be breaking down both them NBA games out there. Tory Coker's best bet, the OKC money line and the Celtics. Michael Johnson in the house. What up, Michael J? Josh Lowers up there. He says, OKC done. Tory Coker, MLB killing my tickets. Oh, man. We've been killing them, slaying them Dragons. I'll tell you. We got enough time to talk about yesterday. We got to talk about today and look forward to tomorrow. But holy shit. I can't believe they're putting lines out there like that, exploiting the MLB right now, and it's been a lot of fun. So hopefully we get you cleaned up there, Tory Coker, get you moving in the right track. Nania says, we really do the pubbing. Winner Circle, hey, yo, he's got the Thunder, the Stars, money line, and there's Chet Holmgren over 22.5 points and assists. Josh Lower likes the Rangers money line. Mike Wilkerson, Mitchell over 4.5 assists. And there's my guy Amsterdam. What else says, let's go. Nasty Nate, a.k.a. the mechanic out there with his wrenches, likes the Celtics to smash today. And Tory Coker says NHL Hurricanes first period -0.5. Nasty Nate likes the Celtics second quarter. Oh, he just says, shout out. Let's go. He says, always fade the boosted game. Vancouver was a lock. That was a fun way to come to that one. That Boston game, and then kind of looking at the numbers, and shout out to us because we cashed that nice plus money spot there. My guy, Old E. Dustin in the house says, Old E loves it. Michael Johnson says, Avs under 7.5. Avs in the under 7.5, I believe is the parlay there. Ken Woods in the house. Michael Johnson says, over 1.5 first period. Canes is a good bet. Mike Wilkerson says, Luka over 7.5 first quarter points. I got to start looking at more of those first quarter point spots out there. I love to see you guys getting them. I appreciate everybody dropping them in the chat. Rob McMahon says, what up, Mikey Money? The Brewers -1.5. And let's get to work. We do have a lot of work to do. Joseph Alvarado says the Boston line moved from -325 to -700. WTF and why? I'm going to assume it has to do with Donovan Mitchell. I'm going to assume. Let me just take a quick peek and see if there's been any news here. Jared Allen is questionable. So is Donovan Mitchell. No official ruling yet, but my inclination is to believe that those guys are leaning towards soft status out there. Soft, meaning they're not going to get out there and play. We'll see. We'll see how it goes there as we get into it, but let's recap. Let's go through Friday. We'll go through it fast. Keep this brisk pace moving. It was a profitable day. Not as much as I would have liked, but we still got there. Let's take a look. Lost the Bruins, won the Oilers. NHL would be phenomenal if I could stop splitting these series, but hey, that's okay. That was an even spot. The Boston Bruins were a dog. The Oilers were -125s. We got that cash, 1-1 splitter. Then we went into the MLB and we tore it up. We tore up the MLB, of course. We got that Pittsburgh loss. They got busted up. I think it was 7-2 or 8-2 final. It's hard to remember all the way back to Friday. Jesus. Short-term memory issues are real. Then we went on a run. We got the Minnesota Twins. We got Philly -1.5. We got Crochet to get the win there at +185. I don't know what happened to the Rangers. Neither do they, apparently. -1.5 and the under 9.5. We had the wrong team set up in that situation. It was +295. We did not get there. We did not get Nate low. It was a blow. But we cashed that Kansas City money line spot there. Shame on me with that San Fran Pittsburgh. I talked to you guys about these two teams, these situations they were in when they've got totals of a 7. I neglected to mention that when they're in the first game of the series, they're 500. So We'll keep an eye on that one there. The totals for the home favorites on a 7, as long as it's not the first game of a series, are smashing. We got smashed in that spot. Both San Fran and Pittsburgh took those L's. I was looking back at it. I was like, what a sick fucking joke. Anyhow, our guy, there's our guy T on the 1s and 2s. I told you, keeps it tight and right. He's given us Mitchell is ruled out. That looks like that's an official status. Hopefully you got those plays in early. We took a loss in the Pacers, -6.5. Buckers won by 5. But we did win that Denver spot, +3.5. And shout out to anybody that did ride the band with me there. 21 plus 2,200. You got to sprinkle. I told you. The max my line would give me was a -7.5 for Denver. And then the sprinkle. I said it 3 times on the fucking show on Friday. I hope you guys paid attention out there. That shit was for real. I'm not just saying it to say. I think I'm just saying shit to be saying it. Let's go out there. We got Denver over 205.5 to get that cash as well. And that's how we finished off that card on Friday. It was fun. It was fun. We got some big money out there. Officially, I think it was just over 1.5 units, but oh boy, there was a lot of cash being made there. So hopefully you got your hands on that cash as well. Let's take a cruise on in, lace those skates up. Our guy Joe T has already blessed us with his NHL action. I'm going to move fast for you guys because we do have a lot of Major League Baseball to get into, and now is not the time to skimp out. When you're hot, you stick into it. You swing harder. You swing faster. You swing more often, and that's exactly what we're going to do here in Major League Baseball today. Let's talk about these 2 NHL games, guys. First and foremost, the Carolina Hurricanes, the New York Rangers here. Scripted this game out for you guys since game 1 of the series. Rangers. Then we see a spot where Carolina wins, and then the Rangers were going to go back home and finish it on Madison Square Garden ice. Here we are. Rangers. Carolina gets that last game. That means tonight has to be them Rangers. They're going back to Frederik Andersen with Carolina. At least he's likely. He was the first guy off the ice. He played starting goaltender in the crease in the morning skate as well. And on the other side, it's Igor Shesterkin. Mount Shesterkin at this point. That guy just stands in front of that like a giant mountain out there. And I don't understand it. I don't understand why the bookmakers keep making this Rangers team a small favorite. In this case, it was -105 all afternoon. Late action continuing to come in now on these New York Rangers. They're sitting at -108. Certainly not going to keep me away from this spot. It's exactly how I think this one was going to play out. And, you know, that last game, we'll give it to them. We'll give them boys that 4-3 win there in Carolina. Look, that was a big Saturday game, right? So the stakes were high for them boys in Carolina. And I said this before. The NHL and the NBA, the prototype, the example of these fans and the players, it rides through the culture and the DNA of these two sports. NBA will just tune the fuck out when these teams go down 3-0. They know it's over. There's no sense in watching the players check out. Everybody checks out. Make that a note for that OKC game tonight. In the NHL, though, teams will go down 3-0. They'll still sell them tickets. Everybody still wants to go see fights. They still want to see goals. They still want to see potential Stanley Cup champions. And that's exactly what happened there. Carolina did not tune out. There's only been, one sweep in the NHL? That was the Rangers. The Rangers have gone 7-1, and yet they're still sitting here at -108 now on their home ice. Goddamn disrespectful. All they've done is score. They won 4-3. That score, that first game, did not make a lot of sense. That game was 4-1. It was just sloppy parking the bus at the end to get that first game series lead. They rolled them back in game number 2, 4-3 as well. They won 3-2 down there in Carolina. They are tight games, but the price makes sense here. This is a spot for us to hammer in on this New York Rangers team. Game script, series script, playoff script. The Rangers move, they advance. My assumption is going to be there that they're going to go out there, play them Florida Panthers, and that's going to be a battle in the East. Florida and the Rangers are going to be the two showdown cases here for the East here to show who's going to go represent the Eastern Conference in the Stanley Cups there. And of course, I'm going to lean to the Rangers, but man, them Florida Panthers, we'll talk about them tomorrow. Juggler23 says Frederik Andersen is confirmed. Yeah, why not? I mean, the guy battled a lot of health issues this season. Run him back out there for one last time on the season. Get your money's worth from this guy. And pack it in. Get them golf clubs ready. It is 1, 2, 3 golf course. I don't know that they go to Cancun in the hockey postseason there. But if they do, they certainly got their tickets and bags already packed. Them Hurricanes are toast. Game number 1. Give me them New York Rangers. Give it to me at -108. You know, we talked about Gunsel, and he definitely lit up that last game, but Trocheck, Zibanejad, Panarin. These guys are starting to find their groove. That's exactly where they need to get rolling. The dark horse Lafreniere in there, as well as a guy that's been capable of going out there and producing results on the regular. And don't fuck with Rempe. I bet you Rempe pops somebody square in the jaw today. Probably knocks his ass out. They got to bring the stretcher out there, give him the smelling salts and cart him out. It's going to be physical. It's going to be a battle in the garden. And we're going to cash this New York Rangers spot to get the job done. Sub in the house. What up, Subhuman Gaucho says, yeah, that a boy, Mikey. You know I'm rolling with these Rangers. Says Mika assist has been a wagon. Fucking Mika's been a wagon in general. Let's take a look here. The Mika assist prop. Get so excited here. This NHL has been so much fun. Minus 120 for Mika to get an assist. What else do you want? The guy's on the top line of everything, and he's a production artist out there. He is a wagon. Go get yourself some Mika, my guy, Subhuman Gaucho. What up, Marcus McCarthy says, let's go Avs out there. Let's make that the move in. Al Cervic says the Cavs should just forfeit. I mean, that's let's go. Smoke and Mirrors says, I got the Rangers earlier to win the series at plus 140. Me as well, Smoke and Mirrors. We're looking to cash that baby tonight. Let's go, Subhuman Gaucho. Hockey play of the day for our guy Sub. He's got the Rangers team total over 3.5 plus 175. What I like about that move here, and I wouldn't be mad at anybody that wants to go minus 1.5 for this New York Rangers either at plus 225, even moving up to plus 230. What you got going on here is a team that should get busted up. They go into that third period. As soon as they go down a goal, that goal is coming out. It's backs against the wall, series and season on the line. Means empty netter. I understand completely where he's coming from with the New York Rangers team total over 3.5. Even if it's a 2-1 game going into that third period, goalie comes out around the 10 to 8 minute mark, and it's going to be ugly out there. It's going to get ugly. So appreciate you, Sub. Appreciate that look. And there's our guy, Ron Crawford, in the house, giving us the KBO spreadsheet play of the day on them Kia Tigers. I'm going to write that one down. You don't want to miss out with what my guy Ron Crawford is doing out there in KBO land. I got to write it down. I got to make sure I don't miss out there. I'm telling you, got pen and paper. Rule number 2 to the show out there. Suggestion number 2. I hate the word rule, but anyhow, Jesse Gomez says, any live shows tonight? Woo, we'll see. I got more hours logged in live streams this weekend than I do hours under the sheets on my pillow. So we'll see what happens tonight. Let's go. KBO. The Ron Crawford says his MLB spreadsheet play of the day is Texas minus 115. Philly Eagle Flyers is on the O's, Braves, White Sox, and the Angels games tied after the second innings for our guy Philly Eagle Flyer. Kelly D says the Rangers minus 1 in regulation is plus 195. Go, baby. I like it. Kelly D, let's get that cash. What up, Trisha M says, hey, y'all. What a night last night. Had a blast with y'all and cash. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. My brother and I were trading some messages this morning. He's like, man, I slapped that bookie last night. I was, fuck yeah, we did. Let's go. Let's move on. It's fun when we don't really remember how we did it. We just remember we did it, and we did it often. So that's always a good time. Let's roll on second game of the slate here for the NHL. Just around the corner. We got 3 hours to go. The Dallas Stars, the Colorado Avalanche here. And, I was saying earlier today on the sesh, there's been some series that I had to dial and read on there. I thought that Winnipeg spot. I thought the Edmonton Kings spot I was pretty dialed into. I feel pretty dialed into this Rangers-Carolina series. This one here, though, this Colorado Avalanche has got me a little kind of upside down, I think, here. I just don't know what to make of who's got the home ice advantage. I mean, at this point now, splitting those first games that Dallas did, they came into Colorado, and they took them down that first game, and they took them down confidently and comfortably there. It was a 4-1 loss. I expected the altitude and the legs to gas out for them Dallas Stars. But just because it didn't happen doesn't mean the same impact still could not be in effect here. 7 games in the series against the Las Vegas Golden Knights there, the Vegas Golden Knights. They went deep. They certainly regained home ice advantage after dropping 2 in a row at home, but they were capable of going on the road and picking up 2 on the road. Now, it looks like we got Georgiev going back in there and Ottinger as well. So, again, why wouldn't you just keep running the show ponies in this case? And that makes a lot of sense. I totally get it. No reason to abandon the game plan if you're Colorado Avalanche at this point. Yeah, you're not in a great spot. You're down 2 games to 1, but it's your second game at home. They can still kind of I don't want to say regain home ice advantage, but they can still get back to this thing having to be a series of 3. This is the spot where I expect the altitude to impact the legs for the Dallas Stars. Misread their first game. I thought maybe 7 games with the Vegas team going back out there now being game number 3. But now they have spent the 2 days in a row out there in Colorado as well. And I think this is where we're going to see, particularly that third period, they start to gas out. So halfway through the second into the third, I can also tell you guys that we've got a spot here in the NHL playoffs, specifically when a team has had a 2-goal or larger lead and comes off the win in that game. They're only 24 and 35 overall. So kind of that blown load effect. They score a bunch of goals. It doesn't necessarily translate to continuing to score goals. However, the overs are 38 and 21 in those spots. So I believe Colorado overs will be back in play tonight. We already know that from a Colorado Avalanche perspective, probably the most, if not the most goals scored in second period across the board. Here's some things to look for. We talked about that Rangers game, the third period. Look for -1.5 opportunities for the Rangers. Look for potentially the third period to be the highest scoring period. And look for that team total over with the Rangers, as our guy Subhuman Gacho put out there. On this Colorado side of things, when you get to that second period, look for both teams to score in the second period. That'd be a nice little live spot to keep your eyes on. This one doesn't necessarily have the fitting or feeling of the third period being the highest scoring period because they're not backs against the wall. But I do expect if Colorado is down going into this third period, look to live bet them as well, just because of that gassed leg effect with Dallas Stars and the altitude. So not just the plays that were on there, the Rangers -108, Colorado Avalanche is the official play for me, -132. But you got to get it now because we got -135s, 137s, 140s, and -142s out there for Colorado. I think it is the bounce back, get right spot for these guys. And I think it's a great opportunity with a nice low price for us to take a shot. Colorado regulation, if that's the direction you want to. These are just some of those spots to me where it's like, let's not get too cute with it. Let's just get this cash. We got to get it where we can. And this is where it makes a lot of sense. So that's how I'm attacking the NHL tonight. Not just from a pregame perspective, but spots that I want to take advantage of as we're live betting these games as well. So let's go. Marcus McCarthy says, let's go, Mike. We align this my 2-unit. Let's get it, my guy. Let's get that money. Let's roll onward and upward. We got a big Major League Baseball card to dive into here, and we got to keep it going fast. You guys already know 7 p.m. Celtics game is on the horizon. Got some plays laid out there, got some props, got some totals, got a whole bunch of stuff to get us paid on it. But let's bring on Monday's Diamond Guru here. They call him Steak Bet Bouquet, but I have not gotten myself an opportunity to earn a steak from our guy, Jose Bouet. You know him, you love him. We'll bring him in here and talk about some Major League Baseball with our guy, Jose Bouet. Say hey.
Howdy, Mikey. How's it going?
Well, good morning. Did you get yourself a nice nap in there?
No, I actually just got back from the grocery store. People saw me 45 minutes from waking up on the sesh. I was just woken up on the sesh. But no, this is just my everyday hair. I need a fucking haircut, though. You're right about that.
It was a fun show today with the sesh. Did you get your post in there? Did you pick your home run prop in the totals or the total in the NBA?
No, I have not actually. I need to do that. You're right.
Get that cash, man. I'm rolling deep. I already got it. I don't want to say who it is because I don't want anybody to copy me, but you can go see my comments. I want to get Dabby's cash. I want to get Dutch's cash too, but I think I want Dabby's cash more than Dutch's cash. I'm not sure yet. If you had your choice and you can only get cash from one of the two, who would you prefer to get the cash from?
It's an excellent question.
Knowing it's coming out of their wallet and their cold, hard fingers are clinching it.
Yeah, I think it's Dabby just because I could just continue to make fun of it for so long. I just keep telling them about it. So Dabby Cab, yes. But it's nice to see everyone in the chat. Nasty Nate, I'm battling my barber again. Yeah. I'm 9 rounds with the dude. Trisha, Tori, nice to see everyone. Marcus, or not Marcus, I should say Justin in here. Shout out.
Well, let's get to work, Jose. It's a large Major League Baseball card considering they had no afternoon action. And I opened up, man. I've been humming across the pike here with Major League. How's it been treating you this past week? What's going on with the world of say?
Mike, this past week has been ugly, Mike. Past week has been ugly, but we're going to hopefully come out of it. That was last week. This is this week. I'm excited to talk about it. We're up 7 units on the year still, which is, good, but it's time to lock in, Mike, as you know, I tend to be extremely streaky, streaky here. So, yeah, I'm hoping to come through here. But yeah, I have 2 bets in. I'm going to talk about a third one, and hopefully going to add one of yours maybe. We'll see. It's going to be interesting.
Well, let's get to work here. Let's bring up the first game. I believe it's the Phillies and the Mets, if I'm not mistaken, chronologically as we look at the board. In fact, it is an NL East battle. Of course, we know these Phillies were running red hot out there, and then they kind of ran into the buzzsaw that last game against Miami. It was a weird line. That was ugly line number one. There were 2 ugly lines yesterday, and I thought that Phillies one definitely screamed to me that there was something a little sus about it. But nonetheless, 7-10, this line opened at minus 130. It's dropped to minus 102. You've got 70% of the bets and 89% of the cash on this Philadelphia Phillies team. And if you guys are new here, you know we look at the bets and we look at the cash. Everybody can do that, but the difference is what we're looking for isn't where the cash is. We're looking for the reaction, and that is everybody can argue day and night about, the splits and where's the data. It's a 25,000 ticket count sample. We look at the bets, typically going to be things like your parlays, your teasers, props, smaller bettors, the $5 bettors, the $1 lotto ticket bettors that have every game on the slate picked. I may have done that too. Then we look at the cash and we say, okay, bigger bettors typically aren't fucking around with prop bets or they'll be limited. They're not messing around with teasers and parlays. They're just going in straight with a backpack full of cash. And they're saying, okay, give me this Phillies team, in this case, with 89% of the cash. Then what we want to see is the reaction that the markets have for us. Jose, that's why one of the reasons you've been so successful to start your major league season off this year here. You have been spot on with these reads. The floor is yours, my guy. These Philadelphia Phillies going out there. It looked earlier today like it, and it should still be Chris Sanchez getting the start with a 3.22 ERA. And your boy, I don't know if it's your baby boy, but it's Manaea, 3.31 ERA, taking the bump for the New York Mets. Take it away, Jose. Tell us how we're getting paid.
Yeah, I saw the line on this, and I saw it was minus 117 Mets now. I was like, oh, my Lord. I bet this earlier today at plus 102 New York Metropolitans here. So, yeah, I think Mets win today. Obviously, you're going to have to lay some juice now if you want to join us here. But I still think they come through, Mikey. I'm sure you touched on this already, but 70% of the bets and 89% of the money on the Phillies here. When you have that line moving all the way to the Mets, I mean, come on, this is Mets all the way here. So don't overthink it. Don't worry about it. If the Phillies go up at some point, live bet the Mets again. Mets here.
It's an interesting spot because, first of all, we cashed handsomely last night with that Sunday night baseball spot. And I just, no travel for the Mets, first of all. So they had no travel. They had that late comeback. They had to expend a bunch of energy to get there, but is a travel spot for this Philadelphia Phillies coming into town. And they certainly can't be excited. I mean, their bullpen just kind of nuked them internally out there. And they end up losing that game 7-6, despite starting off with I think it was a 5-2 lead that they had. And then they started packing up the bats, getting ready to roll into New York for this battle here. Back-to-back divisional foes here with the Miami Marlins. They did clean that series up 2-1. Now they got these Metropolitans who just battled them Atlanta Braves. So big 4-3 comeback for them. I'm inclined to go in the direction. I'm inclined to lean in your direction here, Jose. I think this is this number just doesn't scream Phillies to me. I know the Sunday night spot, but there was no travel for the Mets. And I'm going to go off of recent performance here. And I didn't like the implosion that I saw there out of Philadelphia. Just kind of melted down at the end of that game. I guess one game does not make a team, but still the hottest team in baseball at 28-13. I think they can afford to take this L tonight. I like it. I think I'm on board with you there. It's always difficult for me to pull the trigger against my own team here, but we've got the wind cranking out around 10.4 miles an hour. Right center field as well. Probably should be an explosive day out there from a run perspective, but I couldn't get there on the total either. I'd look at Harper and Castellano as guys that just should be able to club that ball. Of course, Stott. I mean, all these guys have great numbers against Manaea. Whit Merrifield's hitting 500. Alec Baum's hitting 500. Bryce Harper's hitting 333. Nick Castellano, 625. Bryson Stott, 667. Edmundo Sosa's got himself a 1.0 out there, and the other guys just haven't seen him yet. But I like Pete Alonso. I like Pete Alonso to go yardstick today here, Jose. What do you think about Pete Alonso's season that he's having so far?
I think he's performing like shit, but I believe in you. I think he'll come through for you. By the way, anyone, I'll open this up. You mentioned it. Stake bet opportunity if you want the other side on the Philadelphia Phillies here. I'll be on the Mets. Stake bet opportunity. Who wants it? First come, first serve.
Stake bet Bouquet is in effect today. He's giving you guys the opportunity for a little side wager out there. A little I don't know. Does that steak come back does it come back in one of those boxed up deals there, like the Omaha Steaks, or is it in person?
No, unfortunately, that means you got to come to Palooza and get that shit in person.
All right. Now you've heard it here first. You guys can put it out there. The Futon Bet says Jarrett Allen is out as well. Yeah, I expected both those guys to be out.
Good.
Justin McCalvey says, Mike M, are we fading the Cardinals the first game of the series? Can't wait to talk. I love you guys being dialed in with some of these trends. It's funny, the ones that stick out in everybody's head, because that one definitely has. We've got action in that game as well. Alfred 44 says Donovan Mitchell is out. It's great to see everybody out there, man. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. Show us the support. Joe Free says bomb. Double all day against a lefty. It's going to be a tight one. This Mets game should be. Now, the Phillies on the road. Dabby Cabs likes them to get that 4. I kind of think it's a low-scoring spot for the Phils and a high-scoring spot for the Mets. But let's go on. I believe Jose's got some action here at 7-10. And you guys know the deal. I am not like one James the Bag. I'm a superstitious motherfucker, Jose. I don't want to talk about records. I don't want to talk about shit. I just want to. I don't know if it's my team. If I got to wear a pair of certain socks to get it done. If Grandma's got to lace them panties up and prance around, that's the pregame routine. I don't care. I'm superstitious as all hell. But that being the intro here, you have made a proclamation this season, and you've already gone against it once, I believe. This Tampa Bay Rays Boston Red Sox spot, game number 2. 7-10. You got the AL East. We just talked NL East battle. We got the AL East here. The Red Sox got 77% of the bets, 91% of the cash on them. Red Sox, the line is dropped from a -132 to a -112. We got a frozen total, 64% of the bets and 66% of the cash on the over. Yet it's staying at 8.5. We got Eflin. I saw our guy, the K-Prop Whisperer, not the K-Pop Whisperer, the K-Prop Whisperer. And Mr. Black Book himself, all over Zach Eflin today. 3.75 ERA. Cutter Crawford, been able to cut him up. 1.75 ERA on the bump this season for this young man, Jose Bouet. What are we doing? I was surprised to see some engagement here with this game. Break it down for us. Take it away.
Yeah, I don't have a bet in this game yet here, and I'm very, very conflicted on it here. We'll talk about the market first. And by the way, Jake Flanagan, you're on. You're on, Jake Flanagan, official stake bet. So shout out to you, Jake. But let's talk about this game here, because like I said, I went back and forth. 77% of the bets, Mike. 91% of the money on the Boston Red Sox. Ugh. Okay. Like, this is the time I'm going to fade him here. Eflin at home. I don't know. So I just go back and forth here. I just want to watch. And by the way, I think it's Eflin on the road. Excuse me. I believe this game's in Fenway. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Mikey. But this opened up at -115, and I'm seeing it go down at one point and just come back up. At one point, Mikey, when I texted you about this game, it was at -110 for the Red Sox, and I was like, oh man, do I want to fade him here? And now it's back up to that same number, Mike. And with all that money, I'm confused, Mike. I'm conflicted. I want to hear your thoughts because I wanted to bet on the Rays here, honestly.
Well, we will have some thoughts for you indeed here. I like this Rays spot to begin with off the gate here. Some things that we've noticed by the Rays, they've started to perform. They've started to kind of come back to form, not come back to form, but you know, this game's so long with this 100,000 game season that they play that we're going to see the pendulum shift both sides of things here. And the Rays started out cold, but we know that they've got bats. We know that they're capable. Shout out Kelly V. She says, info from Ross. Boston under last 11 of 12. Agree to the under. Tampa Bay strikes out a lot on the under. Let's start with Tampa Bay as far as the side's concerned. We've got ourselves a nice little system rolling here. The road team off a loss, line between minus 120 and plus 160. These numbers are crucial. Crucial numbers that we look at where these closing lines impact themselves out there. We got those teams in a spot where they're 44 and 4. 44 and 4 at a team in that spot there between a minus 120 and a plus 160 on the road off a loss. We talked, why is that so important? Let's look at guys like last week with our guy, Jose Barrios. Minus 120 to plus 120, Jose Barrios is 3-19. Other spots play the shit out of Jose Barrios. Last game was expected loss out there. We talked about that here because of that range and pricing. This spot here with this 44 and 4 system is kicking ass and taking names. And it's on a tear. It hasn't lost.
By the way, Mikey, tonight's a loss for Jose Barrios as well. I hate that to break that news for you as well.
We agree to disagree. That's okay. But you know where we've had success, Jose, is we're taking these spots where I expect them to go low and trying to capitalize by parlaying the two together. I like this under 8.5 to me. You know, we just talked about the frozen line factor. Travel spot, first game of a series, lots of opportunity out there. The Boston Red Sox have kind of cooled down just a little bit as far as their bats are concerned. They started out firing them, although they started off with that like 3 straight week road game performances out there. Kind of a tricky spot, though. Look up and down the Red Sox lineup against Eflin. The best guy hitting out there, surprise, surprise, Rafael Devers, right? Lefty out there against the Zach Eflin cat. 11 at-bats, 5 hits, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs for a 455, but the rest of the squad's pretty quiet. I mean, I don't even know how to say this guy. Sidney Rafaela? The fuck, guy? You're an American.
Cedon Rafaela, yeah.
All right. Let's call him CD Rafi. 3 at-bats, 2 hits, and a 667, but he's 9th in the order. He's all the way buried down the fucking toilet spot of the lineup. So that being said, you look on the other side of things here, and you got quite a few guys with quite a bit of experience against this Cutter Crawford here. I think this is a bad spot. I think Cutter Crawford's due to regress. I don't know that these bats stay frozen for the Boston Red Sox, but I like this spot with the under 8.5 in Tampa Bay. Piling me up. Give me the plus 310. We've had a lot of success in those spots, and that's going to be how I open up my official Major League Baseball card here. I like that Tampa spot. You know, we talked about the ranges. We talked about the numbers, the trends. Everything kind of lines up for me to take advantage of this spot, Jose.
Okay. I don't think I'll move on it, but I'm glad I got your opinion. I've been back and forth on it, and I might sneak into one more game here. Hopefully, I haven't seen the schedule, but hopefully we're talking about it.
Yeah, I just felt like in this spot, this is, you know, do I want to take now the ass end of the movement? We've gone from plus 112 to plus 100 on the Rays. I mean, it's still a good number for the Rays if you want to get into it, but beef that thing back up, get yourself over 3-1 your cash in return. Forget chasing that steam at this point. Just go out there and beef it up with a frozen line that's got us a nice total. Play them individually too. Fuck, play them all 3. Play the Red Sox. Play the Tampa Bay Rays at even money. Play the under 8.5 at even money. Parlay the 2 together at plus 310. Get creative. You can turn, you know, split a unit 3 ways, and you can turn that thing into, you know, at least 2.5 units, if not more, going the other direction. So it's the way I see it, Jose. I think it's a bad spot for your Red Sox. I'm glad to hear you're not on Boston. That you weren't thinking Boston, but I'm going Rays. Give me these Rays to smash.
Yeah, I like the Rays here as well. I agree with you.
Onward and upward, Jose. Speaking of parlaying them together, let's roll on to game number 2, 7:20 Eastern. The Cubs and the Braves are getting into battle today. 89% of the bets, 84% of the cash on the Atlanta Braves. Minus 154 has dropped, though, to minus 137. We look at the total. It's gone from 8 to nothing. It's sitting at 7.5 in some cases as well. 91% of the bets, 90% of the cash on the Cubs. And we've got Imanaga on the bump with a 1.08 ERA, 5-0 in this young man's professional debut start. On the other side of things, he's got Lopez battling as well with a 1.53 ERA. This game feels like it's Trap City. Yeah, I can explain exactly why the numbers are dropping, because everybody sees Imanaga coming out there for the Cubs and going, this guy just wins. All he does is win. But not so fast here. We still got to deal with this lineup and this Atlanta Braves lineup. They punch in bunches. They go out there, 3, 4, 5 spots are firing on the regular out there. We know they just traveled. This is ordinarily that weird spot where I would consider the fade, but I think this is Cubs Trap City, Jose. I get it. Imanaga's a big guy. He's been playing incredible, but here's the thing. We're a quarter of the way into this baseball season, and there's now film on this guy. There's tape out there for his strengths and weaknesses, right? Where are his opportunities and what threats lie out there for this guy? on the other side of things, when you look at these Atlanta bats, it's too much firepower. Now, you could argue fire meets fire in this case here, because that Cubs lineup offensively in Wrigley has been a monster. But, Ronaldo Lopez certainly has himself some aces up the sleeve out there. Really, there's only been one guy that's had any kind of success. Chris Morel's got one at-bat, one hit on the guy, and everybody else has gotten blanked by him. So battling, it's a showdown to me. I like this Atlanta spot specifically. I think this is that little Trap City situation. When you look at, everybody's going to see the guy. They're going to know the name out there. The Atlanta Braves are 17-0-1 to the under when they're not a dog of more than plus 160. A huge under spot. It makes sense. It validates. It kind of cross-checks with the pitching staff out there for Imanaga and the Cubs and company. I like the Braves to get the job done. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. We threaded the needle twice last week. Atlanta minus 1.5 in the under against your Boston Red Sox. Albeit, though, they are not your baby boys this year. That being said, though, I'm going back to the well here. I think that what we can count on, Atlanta's been playing some defense. Their bullpen's been hanging in there, keeping them tight. And I just don't trust the Cubs. We saw what they did against Pittsburgh, but Atlanta ain't no Pittsburgh. I think they go out there with a plus 180 price tag to get the job in there for us. I thought about the -1. I thought about the Braves -1. It was around even money, but fuck it. Give me the under 8.5 as well. Looking at that 17-0-1 record. 17-0-1 to the under, Jose.
Yeah, I think this is an under game. I've been back and forth on this a total as well. I wanted to bet the under here as well. Mikey, here are the names that Shota Imanaga is kind of chasing today. These are the lowest starts in your first 8 seasons, or your first 8 starts of a season. Lowest ERA in the wild card era.
Lay it on.
6.06 ERA. Zach Greinke's the best one. That's ridiculous. Jacob DeGrom, Pedro Martinez, Randy Johnson, 2019 Mike Soroka. Missed that guy. Roger Clemens, Edison Volquez, and Ubaldo Jimenez. Those are the lowest ERAs there for the first 8 games of the season. Shota's right there. He's been pitching phenomenal. Again, it hurts my feelings that he chose Chicago over Boston, but that's fine, whatever. I lean under here, and Reynaldo Lopez has been pitching great. I just haven't made a move on this game, and I don't think I will. I'm a little gun shy, I guess. Market in the game real quick for those people wondering. Again, I know Mikey covers it, but with 91% of the bets and 90% of the money on the over in this game, I mean, that's crazy. It was a juiced under 8.5 and is now a 7.5 now, Mikey, in a lot of places.
I don't like 7.5. I don't like 3.5, and I don't like 7.5, Jose. Those are 2 spots I just stay the fuck away from. And this way here, I teased it kind of back up to 8.5. What's your success rate been with 7.5s and 3.5s?
The 3.5s have gone back and forth. They're probably split even on 2.5s or 3.5s, excuse me. But when the 3.5s lose, they lose by a fucking large margin. So do with that what you will. Beautifully enough, I'm going to join the under here. I'm getting 8 still, minus 115 on my book. Shout out to my local for his lines not updating. But I do have to pay him this week, which is really annoying. But, shout out to me. I'm on the under with you, Mikey, now. A full game under.
Yeah, like I said, I bought that thing up from the 7.5 to the 8.5. To me, again, getting that at plus 180 just felt like, that last game I saw, the 3.5 was sitting there last, was that Friday or Saturday with the Pirates? The new young gun for them Pittsburgh Pirates, famous.
Gaines, yeah. Yeah, I wanted to take an over in that game so badly, and I did, and I just ended up taking the fucking Cubs. Ugh,
famous.
What a game that was.
Guy's an overall elite pitcher, top prospect, and he's dating an absolute smoke show in Livy Dunn.
Yep, shout out to Livy Dunn.
Shout out to the gymnastics.
How do you feel about under 8s, Mike? Untouchable Jay wants to know.
I'm okay with 8s. 7.5, so 3.5s and 7.5s are the ones that get me. I mean, I'll lose an 8 or I'll push an 8. That's fine. But 7.5s and 3, because my subconscious tells me those are low numbers and it's going to end up going over. And then I bet the under anyways, and it fucking goes over. And I'm like, I knew it. And I play that game with myself for 30, 40 minutes until my next bet comes in. You know what I mean?
Fair. I hope I don't play that game tonight.
Pittsburgh Pirates. The Milwaukee Brewers, 7:40 p.m. We got to keep it rolling here. We got this Boston Celtics game popping off here momentarily. I want to give you guys some action there. This line has got the Brewers all day. It's moved from minus 130 to minus 135. We got 87% of the bets and 88% of the cash on the Milwaukee Brewers and correlated line movement. Then we've got a total that started at 7.5. It's got 70% of the bets and 72% of the cash, moved its ass on up to 8.5 in this case here, Jose. 8.5s. We look at the pitching matchup. It's Rhea. You guys have heard me talk not so glowingly about Rhea, but on the other side of things, Keller. Isn't Keller one of your Mount Rushmore pitchers? I can't recall. Is that Mitch? Is that Mitch that made Mount Rushmore for young Jose?
No, unfortunately not. But he does have great. He's very photogenic. Mitch Helen Keller. He's very photogenic. I'll leave it like that.
We'll keep it rolling here, guys. I looked at this one. I got two plays for you guys in this game here. First and foremost, give me this first 5 over 4.5. Low juice opportunity as well. The line's moving in that direction. I think I caught it moving to the 4.5, so I would have preferred the 4. But I'm still comfortable with the 4.5. Both of these guys, both these lineups are in fact capable of putting up 4.5, 5 themselves here. So I do like this here. We've seen the Pirates. They just, once they get through the order one time, it's just run, festival, bring your glove to the ballpark. But the guy that I choose to target here, you see it on the screen. Your eyes are not playing tricks on you. We're going into the RBI season here. It's ribeyes for dinner. And the guy I'm jumping in on is in the 4-hole right now. What does he do against Mitch Helen Keller? He lights him up. He's seen him 20 times, which, first of all, is one of the most at-bats anybody's seen against any pitcher on the slate today. He's got 6 hits, 1 home run, 4 RBIs. He's in the 4-hole. He's hitting a 300 out there. He's got Christian Yelich, William Contreras, and Brice Turang in front of him. All of them hitting 600, 300, 333. This whole Milwaukee lineup has been nothing but successful against Mitch Keller. And then I saw Willy Adames priced at plus 175. Stupid price. Give me Willy Adames plus 175. Give me the Pittsburgh first 5 over 4.5 at minus 105 as well. And Justin says he's tailing Adames. When are we going to get you in the RBI game, Jose Bouet? That's what I want to know.
Well, Mike, you said you were fucking superstitious yourself. I told myself I wasn't going to do that. You want to know my record on betting run lines this year, Mikey? I told myself I was not going to make 1 run line bet. I've made 2. Guess what my record is?
1-1.
0-2.
Oh, no.
Of course. I bet the Red Sox twice straight up this year. I think I'm 1-1 now. So, yeah, I'm a skunt, is the summary of the story.
Well, I look at this game here, and I saw Mitch Keller's K-prop is like 3.5, and it's juiced to the under, so they're expecting him to get touched up, as am I. This one just kind of checked a lot of the boxes for me. I love Adames to begin with. Actually, it's not 175 here. Let me just double check and see. I believe the number changed. Let me see, just for full disclosure, for transparency purposes here, we got to be legit. And 145 now is the number that's out there for Willy Adames there. Give me this guy for the Ribby at plus 145. He's in the sweet spot there, the 4-hole, and he's sitting there at the sweet price range at plus 145 for us. Keep it moving, Jose. We got to keep that brisk pace, my guy. Next game that's on the docket for me. We talked a little bit about it. It's the first game of a series for you-know-who. It's the Cardinals and the Angels going at it right now. Oh, boy. A line that's got 36% of the bets, but 98% of the cash on the St. Louis Cardinals. It's only moved a couple cents from a plus 102 to a minus 104. This total's getting steamed as well. 79% of the bets and 79% of the cash on the over 8.5. And yet the line hasn't moved. We got Liberatore going out there for the St. Louis Cardinals with a 3.54 ERA. And ice cold bats across the lineup for St. Louis. Then we've got Soriano rolling out there with a 4.32 ERA. Jose, I don't know if you have any action on this game or not, but you're welcome to open it up and talk to us a little bit about maybe what you think in this series.
Yeah, I want the Cardinals. Oh. I do. I want the Cardinals. But Mikey, like you said, the Cardinals suck dick and balls when they're the first game of the series and they're favored. Now, the nice thing about this is they weren't favored once upon a time when this line opened up. Mikey, I had this line opening up at minus 109 to the Los Angeles Angels, and we've done a whole flipperoo. It got up to minus 118 at one point, and now minus 109 for the Cardinals here. That was on Bet Online. Bovada opened this up minus 114 Los Angeles, now showing minus 121 St. Louis Cardinals here. Now, Mikey, I'm sure you're sitting here thinking there must be everyone's on the Cardinals, everybody. Well, 36% of the bets, but 98% of the money on the Cardinals here. So big boy bets on the Cardinals here, Mikey. 64% of tickets and small little rec betters on the Angels. So I don't know, Mikey. Should I jump in the Shark Tank? I think I want to bet the Cardinals today, full game.
I mean, I can understand that. They've been so great. They've lost 7 of their last 8 games, so it makes a lot of sense that things are moving in the right direction for them right now to see all that cash coming.
And their manager just got tossed recently as well. He's firing up the boys.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but hasn't Liberatore there been firing out of the bullpen? I mean, how many times have we
He's been a much better reliever than he has been a starter. Now, here's the thing, Mikey. You say all this, you make all these quips, and yet the line has flipped all the way. Cardinals favored, almost minus 120. So, Mikey, I didn't make it official, but, after all this, I think I've got to make it official now, Mikey. I think I've got to do it. Cardinals full game money line, minus 111 for me.
Wow. Going head to head with Steak Bet Bouquet. And I mean, I get it. You see that 7 of 8 losses.
Is this it, Mikey?
Yeah, sign me up. Sign me up for the old Steak Bet.
Oh!
Sign me up. I've been bitching about not having a stake bet with this guy for over a year. And you guys, this is it. Write it down. May the 13th here. The Cardinals, losers, going to a bullpen pitcher, losing the first game of a series more than any team in Major League Baseball. I get it. Like, hey, guess what? Oh, there's no Mike Trout. There's no Mike Trout out there for them Angels. Well, they got a whole bunch of other dudes out there. Fuck Mike Trout and his hatred for Philadelphia and Bryce Harper. We love seeing him out there in the skull cap when he's watching them Eagles games, but I don't know, man. I mean, the rest of these guys here, nobody's seen Jose Soriano on the other side of things. You got cold bats.
Very good.
Listen, I don't want to talk you out of this bet, so let's just leave it there. I double dipped this one. I got the first 5 and the full game. I kind of expect to see runs in this game too. I thought that we might see the opportunity for the ball to get flying out of the yard here, but at the end of the day, I like it, Jose. I'm excited to have my first official stake bet with Bouquet. It's going to be a lot of fun to see how this game rolls down. Jose, I got to pull an audible here because I still have several baseball games to jump into. So just bear with me for a minute now. We've lost some value on this Boston spot now for the Celtics.
Oh, no.
The Celtics and the Cavaliers, the official status of these guys being out and Jarrett Allen and Donovan Mitchell has fucked this line all up. 51% of the bets, 56% of the cash on the Celtics. Hopefully you guys were listening to the sesh earlier today because they were giving out that first 5 by Trot Wham, talking about that game and getting the job done here. Because of the situation now with the official ruling of these players, this line's moved to 11.5s and 12s now in this Boston Celtics game. So the spot that I look to still in this game here, I'm on the first half under. I'm on Boston -8. You can't get that anymore. And I'm not going to chase that extra 3.5 to get the shit clobbered out of them here. I do see the 105.5 though for a first half under. So I am going to take the first half under 105.5. And Boston -8 was a great number. And see if it holds true. 2 props that I am on though as well. Actually, I guess I'll start and say road favorites with a series lead are 15-0 if they lost 2 games ago, and the total's less than a 206 on them boys. So that's very much qualifies. Late qualification for that one. They aren't covering the spread in that road favorite situation by almost 12 points. So, it's just, it's 4 points against the number that I originally got today. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But 2 guys that I do want to get involved with here, Jason Tatum. You know it. You saw him last game out there. The guy went 33 points, 13 rebounds, and 6 assists. under his point total for me. Under 28 points is minus 110. Fuck this guy. He had 25 field goal attempts the last game. He hasn't had that many since March 25th. It's been almost 2 months in a game against Atlanta, and especially if this game goes blowout city, he ain't playing that fourth quarter. Arguably, he might not even bring his heart in there to play in the first quarter, expecting to bust these boys up. So I got Tatum. I went under 28 points for Tatum. And the other guy I jumped in on is Pritchard. Because of this situation, we've had success last series, and it's almost an identical blueprint here. Pritchard over 1.5 3-pointers at plus 150. Let me just double check and make sure that's still the best number. But I wanted to give that to you guys now because unfortunately the line has moved, but it's injury-related news and doesn't look so good for this Cleveland Cavaliers team. Personally, can't wait for them to be eliminated. Fuck this team. I'm tired of talking about them. That being said, though, give me the first half under 105.5. That game's about to pop off here in about 10 minutes. Just to give you guys the update. We'll bring it back to Major League Baseball, but I know a lot of you guys are looking at that game, and I love those two props. I love those two props before any of the injury news. They're kind of independent in the injury news, and one of them's just a fade away on. Everyone keeps talking Tatum. Fade that fucking guy in that spot there after a career game that he just had out there. I just don't think he brings the heart to the court tonight. Jake Flanagan says, Mike, asking for a friend. What are your thoughts about Tatum over 2.5 threes?
It's a good point, Mike. It's a good point.
I mean, our guy, Dabby Cad, loves his over 2.5 threes, and it's juiced out there. I just don't know he's going to get enough court time. First of all, he hasn't gone over the 2.5 threes. They talked about it. Razor Sharp broke him down earlier today on that. And now what is he going to do? Go out there and play Superman after a huge game? I just don't see it. I don't think so. I would be on the under in that spot versus the over. Just simply because of his lack of results, the expected reduction of minutes in what should be a blowout situation for him. I'm not on it. I didn't touch it. I'm on the points under. Daddy Cab can have his threes if that's how it's got to be. Jose, let's move back over to baseball, though. I'm sorry to take you on a detour. Do you have any thoughts on that Celtics game? Let's hear the
Celtics smash.
Celtics smash.
Celtics smash, and I think it's Celtics second quarter. Actually, it might be Celtics third quarter. I don't know, but Celtics smash.
The Boston guy himself in here. Now, are you a Celtics guy like you're a Red Sox guy, or are you?
Of course, yeah.
Is your first love the Red how the Celtics, or how does that work for you?
If I had to power rank my favorite teams, and shout out to my Marcus Smart cereal behind me, it's Celtics are like 3, I would say. Red Sox 1, Liverpool 2, Celtics 3, and then the New York Jets number 4.
Wow,
Jets. Well, actually, I would say the Bruins are above the Jets. But yeah, I do care. And Celtics second quarter. Excuse me, Nasty Nate. Celtics second quarter. See.
There you go. Celtics second quarter. Celtics are going to smash tonight. Just ask Nasty Nate and Jose Bouet. Let's go. David Wallace says, wow, that's terrible. I don't know if he's talking about your stack ranking or I'm curious how the Jets snuck in there because it seems pretty predominantly Boston. And then there you go hanging them Jets.
Well, the Bill Belichick and Tom Brady are cheating fucks.
Okay. So if you're not, you don't subscribe to the if you're not cheating, you're not trying philosophy.
I do not. No, only for certain things. I'm very flexible. If the people I like are cheating, then I might make an exception.
Gotcha.
Like, for example, that Apple Watch thing is bullshit. How you gonna? You can't text someone on your Apple Watch, send it to someone else, have him look at it, and send some fucking notification or some sort of signal to a batter. MLB baseball is ridiculous. What are we fucking doing here? But yeah, no, I hate the Patriots.
T's asking the same question. I was curious myself. How do you become a Red Sox and Celtics fan and hate the Pats? I mean,
they're cheating bastards. I enjoyed the roast of Tom Brady because I was like, yeah, good. Fuck this guy. Bill Belichick, fuck him too. But shout out to my guy, the guy that make me, besides Brett Favre, because I like Brett Favre until I found out that he enjoys sending dick pics to cheerleaders and allegedly defrauding poor people to build volleyball facilities. But Mark Sanchez, I fucking love Mark Sanchez. He's my favorite football player of all time. I'd fucking die for Mark Sanchez.
The butt fumble doesn't dissuade your passion for this guy.
We don't talk about that.
Okay.
We don't talk about that. But yeah, Mark Sanchez is my number 1. And I would say right behind fucking Mark Sanchez, my guy Thomas Jones, I believe. Love the running back as well. And to shout out to LaDainian Tomlinson for being washed up and running the Jets as well. Darrell Revis is also cool, but he played for the Patriots, so that really hurt my feelings.
Subhuman says, you don't like sending D pics to cheerleaders? Young man like you should be all about it. I can't imagine the circumstances which would have to be in play for me to be sending pics of any kind of pics out there. Yeah. Anyhow, let's move on, Jose. We still have baseball
that out there.
Well, we needed to get that was the get to know Jose Bouet segment of Last Call on Mondays. I look forward to further exploring next week. Tune in to talk more about understanding. We'll call it Understanding Bouet. That's going to be the name of the segment. Understanding.
It's going to take a long time to do that, so I wish all you luck.
All right, you guys. I've got 3 games left in Major League Baseball, Jose. I told you, seeing the board like a fucking hawk.
That's why I'm here. I brought 2 bets. I'm here to tail Mikey. That's why I'm here. And apparently go against him in stake bets.
Is it amazing to go as fucking clear across the board as I did on this weekend? Yeah, I used to think so. But anyways, I don't want to get too cocky and ahead of myself here. Let's talk about this next game here. Here's a bet that I'm pioneering. I don't see a lot of people making these moves here. And I love the fact that nobody seems to make these moves because it does my 2 favorite things. It isolates a bad pitcher. It capitalizes on a better lineup. And it's kind of that in and out. I'm not a big in and out fan. I don't think there's a lot of shortcuts in this thing. That's why my first quarter NBA bets are so fucking historically bad. But you got to look at this matchup here. The Colorado Rockies, the San Diego Fathers. Here we go. The Fathers. How about this? Everybody thought they're getting rid of Juan Soto. They're checked out. Then they sign Dylan Cease. Then they go out and they make a move mid-game for Luis Arraez. Luis Arraez is one of my favorite up-and-coming hitters. The guy's always on fucking base. You got to just walk him, put him on base, and start the game from there to do your pitcher a favor with his numbers. Anyhow, you got this San Diego Fathers spot opens at -215. It's moved to -218, 94% of the bets and 99% of the cash on the Fathers. The Rockies, 8.5 has moved to 8. They've got 98% of the bets and 98% of the cash. And here we go. We've got Vasquez and Hudson out there. Vasquez and Hudson. Dakota Hudson. You're the name of a truck, first of all. And you're fucking pitching like a bum with a 6.
Hudson truck? Is that a Hudson? Is that a Hudson or is that a Dakota truck?
A Dakota. Are you familiar with a Dakota?
I'm not. No, I am not.
It's a truck, but smaller. It's a truck, but smaller. Sure. It's not even a full-size truck. That's what Dakota Hudson's got going for him right now. And, I get it. A lot of people on the under in this spot there. I can see why. If you look kind of back here. Now, the Rockies coming up, 4 straight wins. Who the fuck thought the Rockies would pick themselves up 4 straight wins, Jose? I'm blown away by it there. Texas Rangers, as if it didn't get bad enough. That being said, you look at the Fathers, kind of back and forth here. Some lower scoring games as they try to get these lineups right. Chicago, they lost 3-2. They beat the Cubs 3-0. They beat the Dodgers 2-1. They get shut out 5-0 against the Dodgers. Then they roll back. It's which game are we going to see? Who's going to show up here for this side of things? And you see it on the board. This is my new favorite bet. The first 5 team total over. In this case, it's 2.5 runs. It's -120 for the San Diego Padres. I love this bet because I feel like you have 2 great opportunities to cash it. You're going to get the starting pitcher twice through the order, theoretically, through first 5 bets or through the first 5 innings. I don't know about these Rockies, though, Jose. I see your numbers there on the screen, and I kind of like that look as well. I don't want to get too cute and thread the needle here, but, Diaz has been firing. Blackman's inconsistent. McMahon's the guy when it's at home in Coors, but on the road here, I think Luis Arraez goes to work today. Why not get some Luis Arraez action there? A home run for Luis Arraez is +1,400. Is that even fucking possible? I don't understand it, but shit, it can't be. That can't be the cost for Luis Arraez, Jose. Talk to us about how you're playing this action.
Mikey, I think I know you. I think I know why you like Luis Arraez. It's one of our first, if not our first memory we've made on screen. together, Mike.
It is.
Yeah, he's a part of one of the I peaked as a human. I saw God for 3 minutes, and it's because of Luis Suarez. Do you remember?
I don't know. It sounds like somebody dosed me with some Special K or something. What's going on?
No, well, I can tell you, Mike, you were exceedingly drunk that night.
But right now, fuck off.
Stay fair.
Oh my God. 2 outs. 2 outs. Holy fuck.
My jersey record remained intact.
Holy fuck.
That's why I don't wear it. Jersey, hoodie.
That's Luis Suarez. I love Luis Suarez. He's one of my guys. We're obviously not going to show how that clip ends, but I love Luis Suarez, so I'm right there with you. But shout out.
That was I do remember that now that you mention it, and as soon as I saw live stream, I was like, well, yeah, of course I was drunk. I just fire him back, but that was fun. The World Classic Baseball.
No, I disagree. It was fun for a little bit of time.
Did you see how stoic I was? Just holding the fist up, celebrating what was expected to be a Luis Suarez score for us there. That was fun. I do remember that. That was great. But you like the under 8 in this one here. You're leading to the under 8 with this Padres Rockies game, huh?
Yeah. I'm on the under 8 in this game. The market, it feels like it's just one of those spots where it's just screaming it. 98% of bets, 98% of the money on the over in this game, Mikey. And this went from 8.5 juice to the under -125 to now just an 8. Went from -115 or -110 to -115. I just think this is a very under spot. Now it's pretty shocking with Dakota Hudson on the bump, but with all that money and we're going down a half run there, I'll trust the under gods here. And it does help that your Rockies are coming the day after from leaving Coors. We know that affects road teams doing that. Maybe it affects the Rockies here. My guess would be, if I had to scorecast here, it'd be like a 6-0 ball game. San Diego Padres win this game, so we'll see how that goes.
I think that's a fair guess. The reason I like the first 5 in this game was because we have seen that they've kind of died out when it comes to getting runs against the bullpens. Dakota Hudson's a pitch to contact guy. So, they've dominated this fucking guy as well. And they've been playing well against, what I think are generally better opponents here. The Dodgers, the Cubs, and the Reds. They got 8 wins in 11 games against them boys out there. I thought they go to work, at least against Dakota Hudson with his pitch to contact capabilities. Then you look at kind of the Padres lineup, 320 OBA against righties as well, 322 BABIP. The ball's in play. It's in play frequently enough that I think that we can get this first 5 casher. And then we'll give you your under 8. I'm cool with that. I'm cool to split it with you. I don't need to be greedy. Just give me that first 5 over 2.5 runs, 3-0. And the game can end and fuck it. It's all said and done.
Okay, cool. Mikey, and here's the thing. I'm going to look how many likes this video has right now. If we get to a certain amount of likes for you, Mikey, and for the program, I will show the end of that video, and I will show everyone my pain and suffering. So let me check the video right now. We're at 58 likes right now, 59 because I just liked it as well. If we get to 100 likes on YouTube, I will show you guys one of my most traumatic moments in sports history.
There it is. You get to 100, you guys hit that thumbs up button. Jason Work says, Mike, I missed it. Are you on Dallas tonight? I am on Colorado. You can go back and check out the thoughts I had around that game itself, but I am on Colorado in that spot there. And Jose, that was a lot of fun. I believe that was the first time we live streamed together. So how far we've come from the last video you have of us live streaming together.
Yeah. I wanted to kill myself that night, Mikey. So thank you. I'm glad you profited off of it.
That I did.
I'll never forget stepping out of the studio, because obviously you've now been to Southtown, so you know what that's like. I obviously, Mikey, was screaming screaming at the top of my lungs, and people would just walk by, and I wouldn't look outside. I'd be only focused on the game. And then when I stepped outside, it's like stepping outside of a strip club when you've been out all night and the sun's out and you went out when it was dark. I stepped outside and it was like, oh my God. And everyone just looking at me, and I'm like, I want to die. This is the worst. This is the worst. So it's truly terrible. So it's great.
Well, that's some of us have been in those situations before where it's quiet, it's light out, you can't quite see straight, you got glitter hanging off your fucking cheek. Anyways, Jose, 8:10 p.m. I'm a little out of order for this next game, but it's the Athletics and the Astros. I got 2 baseball games left, and we will fire away. But excited about this card today. And again, it's been so goddamn profitable. I got to go after it tonight. The Oakland Athletics open up here. They are a plus 132 dog on the road. They've moved to plus 155. 90% of the bets, 91% of the cash on the Houston Astros. Then as far as the total is concerned, a similar situation. 83% of the bets, 94% of the cash. Line has not moved. We're sitting at 8.5 out there. Stripling, Spencer Spaghetti. This guy serves meatballs during dinner, over the bump, whatever the deal is. 8.44 ERA. Stripling's got himself a 5.14. Get it on the screen. You guys can see it there. I'm triple dipping on this puppy. Triple going. First of all, you guys have seen and heard from me enough. You know I'm a sucker for Kyle Tucker. This guy in the RBI spots for me. He's clutch. He's a clutch hitter. He's a guy we need to get going. He's not as consistent as he's been in years past, but we're just heating up this season for this guy, and I think it's a great opportunity for him to go out there, given the spot here against Ross Stripling. Yeah, he's in the 2 hole. But you look kind of up and down the lineup. Jake Myers and the 9 spot there is 500 against Ross Stripling. So we got opportunity there. Now, Ross Stripling also has not won against this Astros lineup, but Spencer Spaghetti's been getting diced. And here's the thing. I'm kind of fading the weather conditions in this game as well. 9.2 coming down the dick, as I've heard Jose Bouet say in the past. But I'm double whacking. I got to go after this thing, man. Get the checkbook out and let's lay it down. I like runs. I like runs early. I like runs often. I want runs in this game. Give me the first 5 over on these pitchers. Give me the over 4.5. Give me the game over 8.5. They don't want to move that line to 9. I'm going to make them pay. Give me the 4.5. Give me the 8.5. And give me Tucker on the RBI status there. Again, don't like guys in the 2 spot, but priced at plus 170. That's a stupid price tag for this guy that can go off in any given day. And look, this Houston Astros team needs to get themselves into get serious condition, because the first quarter of the season, I'm sure they would prefer to forget. But we look back here, despite that 8-2 loss, game 2 of the series against Detroit, they did win 5-2 and they did win 9-3. So their bats are starting to get rolling out there. And they'll fix this no weather in Houston. Are they going to have the roof closed?
Probably, I would guess so. I mean, yeah, that would be my guess. I didn't know you were asking me. I would guess so, yes.
Well, I like it. I like the Astros returning back home here. I think it's a great spot. Like I said, the price tag itself to me for first of all, just take it from the bottom up here. This guy is nothing but a machine when it comes to getting the RBIs for us. And we've been so successful getting those spots this year. Now, his number has dropped, which is another correlated situation that we want to get to here. It's moved down to plus 155. So important note that both of our RBI guys have moved in our direction from a pricing perspective. So important to see it get the job done. And then I just look at these 2 pitchers. If you want the validation for me on hitting props here, these guys are the most hittable pitchers arguably in Major League Baseball right now. Stripling's allowing a 3.77 OBA to left-handed hitters, and we know them Astros are loaded up with them today. They're ready to go out there. We look on the other side of things. Jumps to a 3.81 when he's on the road. So as bad as he pitches even worse on the road. And, Spencer Spaghetti here, fucking 8.4. I know the start of the season wasn't his best performance, and he's kind of tried to pull it back from within, but this guy's getting touched up. He's about 2 more bad innings away, 2 more bad showings away from maybe that dreaded AAA short-term injury situation, Jose. What do you think about Spencer Arrighetti and his noodle arm and the bowl of spaghetti?
Sorry, I'm cutting the video of me of doing this thing already right now. I'm cutting the video, and I'm cutting a part where I call Mike Trout a little bitch for everyone to see as well.
Well, those are my
Yes.
sentiments exactly to start this season out. Mike Trout is a little bitch.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to do this on the fly with you guys, but no, Mike. Yeah, honestly, I'm watching the video again, and I'm just seeing how happy you are and how much pain I'm feeling in the moment, and I'm just getting flashbacks already. It hurts me.
Well, I am one to enjoy the misery of my friends, especially when it comes to me winning in a gambling bet. So. Jose, I'm going to close off the Major League Baseball card here. We got last game. I told you guys, big card for me in Major League Baseball. It was great that we moved over to that Celtic spot simply because of here. But look, 9:40 p.m., we got ourselves the Reds and the Diamondbacks. I swear to God, these teams have played 10 times already this season. They just played like yesterday, and every single game they've played has been 4-3. Unbelievable out there. We got this line opened up at -148 for the Diamondbacks. It's moved to -155, 89% of the bets and 94% of the cash on the Arizona home Diamondbacks. The Cincinnati Reds, and a total now that's gone from 8.5. There are some nines out there. And I'm going to jump in on. I got the under 8.5. I went under 8.5 in this game. Look, we got Ashcraft, we got Montgomery. It's the second time through the order, or second time in a week these guys have faced off against each other. Normally speaking, I would say, I want to kind of look at who was that in-between spot there, but the Diamondbacks kind of fizzled out 2 of their 3 games against Baltimore and Arizona. I'm sorry, Cincinnati is falling on hard times right now. They beat San Francisco after getting punished by the Arizona Diamondbacks, but that game that they won against San Francisco, I'm going to take out of the sample, and I'm going to take it out because that was the first game back from Coors Field for San Francisco. Historically, they play like shit in that spot all the time. First game back from Coors Field. And, the Reds caught him in that spot there. I see Coin says Arizona's 2-10 in the first game of a series spot, Mikey. 2-11. Another factor for me as well. But I want the under. No reason. These teams were just playing on 7s and 7.5s. Now we got ourselves up to an 8.5 and a bad travel spot as well. So give me tired, cold bats, the frequency of which these pitchers kind of got to use their stuff out there those previous games, and the success that they had in keeping those scores at 4-3. Plus money spot for me, even money spot under 8.5 for this Arizona Cincinnati Red spot for me, Jose.
Okay, beautiful. No thoughts from me, but I am ready. We got to 80 likes here, and I realize I do have to depart here soon, but I want to play these clips because they're funny now. And they only hurt a little bit. Mike, I've never been punched in the face, never been punched in the stomach before. But this is the closest I felt to being punched in the stomach. And I know T back there is fucking loving this as well, because I know he loves my pain as well. But this is, again, Mikey, I saw God twice, I guess. I saw God twice. Luis Ariz, and then I saw God here again.
This is the best.
That's why.
I'll lose $100 just to see this.
We'll take the lead. This is what we do. We're down 4-0. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna
Yeah!
I saw God there. I was so happy. I was so happy, Mike.
Well,
I was on the top of the world. Nothing could touch me. And then I stopped saying this guy's name forever after this.
It was a bomb. That was an absolute bomb.
Oh my God!
But if we can cash with Pennsylvania,
Don't do it, Jose. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Find a way. Come on.
Razor, we cashed Penn State on the fucking spread, but
Well,
ding 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 ding
Well.
ding ding.
chalk went up to, there we go. Game over.
Fucking
Wonderfully
Lord.
done. Wonderfully done. Dale says, Mikey not caring. No, I was intoxicated. I was about 8 winners deep at that point. And I remember telling Jose when he was going head to head, it was a bad spot to be, but on that heat says the music though.
Oh my God. I'm just so glad I was not there. I was so close to going to that game. I would have been, first of all, I would have been beaten up by, before the Luis Ariz at bat, I would have been beaten up because I would have been depressed, and then we would come back, and I would just be talking shit. Because when I was there, Mikey, I was only playing like Spanish-speaking countries, and I'm talking in English. So like I'd say like 20% of the stadium could understand me, and I'm just cussing up a storm because obviously again everyone speaks Spanish, and if we got a bunch of Americans around me all rooting for fucking their stupid pussy shortstop, oh my God, I would have been in a fight before that. The Luis Ariz home run, I would have been insufferable. And then after the shortstop hits the home run, I would have been in fucking tears. There would have been a new crying Jordan meme, and it would have been my fucking face on there. Thank God I was not fucking there.
I remember you were staying with your sister, if I'm not mistaken, or you were in that vicinity out there, and I believe it was Miami.
I was there for the first round. I was there for all the group stage. We beat the DR. It was awesome. I saw God. It was great. I peaked.
Well, Jose, you are always a real treat to spend time with. I'm excited that I've got my first stake bet in play with you here with this LA Angels game. So that's going to put a little added fun to what's going on out there. But recap the plays. Tell everybody what you got going on with Say Hey this week. A big day tomorrow with you, Pistol Pete, and Jimmy the Bag. I know. Tell us about the week, my guy.
Yeah. And Kelsey, I was not crying in that video, but I am crying now thinking about how fucking close I was. Oh, my God. You know, again, Mikey, the worst part about it, on top of being Venezuelan and wanting that so fucking bad, I had futures on Venezuela. Ugh! And of course, we still cashed our futures on Japan because fuck the United States, but thank God. But yes, thanks as always, Mikey, for having me on the program. We did relive bad times for me, but I can smile and laugh about it and cry a little bit in the process. So I'm on New York Mets money line. I got plus 102. Rockies game under 8, full game minus 110. The Chicago Cubs game under 8, minus 115. And I bet the St. Louis Cardinals heads up there. Stake bet locked in with Mikey Money. And I have another stake bet on Jake Flanagan as well. So that's going to be very fun, Phillies Mets. So shout out to you both. Shout out to you, Joe Free. He thinks the Angels win tonight. We'll see. Trisha, shout out to you. Never bet on futures. Yeah, it hurts. It really hurts, Mikey. I wish I knew what it felt like to come from a country of winners. You know, I'd like to know what that's like. Instead, I'm with a country of fucking losers. We're fucking losers at heart. That's what we fucking are. That's why we have fucking one gold medalist and she's a fucking long jumper. Well, we have like 2 and boxers. Who cares about these things? But goddamn it, Mikey, I'm going to be fucking all in this summer. The Gold Cup. Venezuela coming for fucking necks in soccer. They're going to be down here. I'm going to go to the game against Jamaica and I'm going to fucking scream my goddamn face off, and we're going to win, and we're going to kick the shit out of the United States in soccer. I can't wait. So thank you guys as always. Mikey, is a pleasure. I'll see you guys very soon.
Jose Bouet, the one and only, right? I mean, they broke the mold. I don't know how we're going to finish after he put it all on the table for us today. He's got the stake bets in play. He was dicing up videos, giving you guys a little montage of last summer. Talk about Louis Ariz on the fly. But we're going to find a way. We're going to battle in here. We've got one game left on the radar tonight. It's in the NBA. It's a battle royale right now. We did see some updates going on. Tampa Bay is up 3-0. Might be the price we pay for not chasing that late steam, but we will see. Let's go over at 9:30 p.m. The OKC Thunder, the Dallas Mavericks right now. 55% of the bets, 41% of the cash on the Dallas Mavericks. This line has flip-flopped. It's gone from -2.5s down to -1s, but this was jumping. This is late minute steam coming in on the OKC Thunder. Earlier today, the numbers were definitely aligning with the Mavericks, and there was reverse line movement. Now we're seeing some of this late minute cash coming in on the OKC Thunder. When we look at a line that's 2.5 to 1.5, so we start to look at the money line to see, can we get a better gauge of what's happening here? And in fact, 77% of the bets and 60% of the cash say, you know what? I don't want to lay the 2. Just give me the money line with them Dallas Mavericks. And the money line is going from -135 to -115. Dallas Mavericks. Then we got a total that has barely moved. If anything, it's moved a half a point up. 93% of the bets, 93% of the cash on the over. And it could be over here. You guys have heard my aforementioned series strategy thoughts when it comes to how these two teams, the NBA in general, plays. What's going to happen? What's the deal out there? Do we have a team that's just going to fork it in and phone it in and be done in this case? And I don't think so. I think in this case here, the OKC Thunder, I expect that the age, the experience, the wisdom that one gains in playing this level of the NBA will shine through. But this is one of the most fun series we have left in major. Now, you could argue that Denver Timberlakes game is a fun series as well. But they got a lot of big names, a lot of marquee matchups. Obviously, they're not ready to see it phoned in just yet. And I think this is a great spot for us to jump in on OKC. You want to go by the numbers and we look at this thing here. We expected that first game to be the winner. They went out there and they cooked them. We saw that specifically because of that kind of carryover factor from the previous series out there against the Clippers. Then they go out and they get busted up twice. This is a backs against the wall, but it's not panic time because the OKC Thunder can regain that home court advantage and make it a best of 3 series, 2 games being in OKC if they can get the job done tonight. Everybody's selling on this OKC Thunder team, and I'm not entirely sure I get it, but I'll tell you this much here. Road favorites or small dogs that are off a loss or they blow them out by 20 or more points are 38-7 on a low total the next spot. When the team's going home the next game, which will be the case here with OKC Thunder, they're 19-2 that game before they go back home. 19-2 against the spread over the last 21 games and comfortably covering by 9 points a game in the situation out there. Then you start looking at these guys and you start thinking about what's going on in the series right now. PJ Washington is what's going on in the series for the Dallas Mavericks out there. It's unbelievable to see what's happening. On the other side of things, we saw Shea SGA goes out. He's averaging 31 points per game, and yet they're down. Their backs are against the wall. The way I attack this one here is I went simply put, I give me back some PJ Washington. He's leading the Dallas Mavericks when it comes to this series. He's playing phenomenal. Now, 2.5 threes, -105, doesn't necessarily work against the thought process out there. I think he gets those early and then gets himself cold. But SGA's got to go balls out. 31 points is going to be enough to probably win this series or win this game. But they got to push. You know, they closed out. You look at the line functionality with this game. This game almost identical to what happened that last game out there. They opened at 3.5. They closed at 2. Dallas wins and covers, and they come right back and they run the numbers the same way, only for it to get steamed. The sharp bettors, the overnight bettors, the conglomerate bettors, the big dollar tickets looking at this thing going, OKC stays alive. And I completely agree in this case here. This to me felt like a situation where OKC wins this thing by like 9 or 10 points. I think Shea's got to push the SGA over 30.5 points at -110 on par for what he's been doing in average of the series. PJ Washington over 2.5 threes at -105 to get the job done. And then I got OKC at +2. Let's see what the best number is that's out there. See, it's a weird spot because the money line's even money. It's +100 or -105. So it's kind of that situation where I can get the +1.5 at -112 for a +1.5. I don't expect it to come down to that, but 7 cents for me to get a 1.5. I wouldn't call that insurance. Doesn't feel like it's insurance. Probably not going to come down to a 1-point game, but just seems like the cost of the line, that 1.5 for being 7 cents to me makes a lot more sense, or 12 cents, I guess. It makes a lot more sense to me. That's where the value is in the number versus just jumping in and taking. Now, if you're putting a multi-leg parlay together and you're trying to maximize the juice that you can get in that, I guess I could see OKC money line being the trick out there. But here we go. 19-2 spot. We got the small dog off a loss. Small total going back home the next game. 19-2, getting the job done by 9 points out there. I don't know why everybody's putting the fork in them. Now, I do think that Dallas comes out and wins this series long haul, but I think we go back to OKC evened out. They'll probably even go 1-1 in those spots, and then Dallas is going to have to come back to OKC to win this thing in 7. That's what I think about this show today, you guys. That's how we're getting paid across the board. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. We had a long one today. Long show, big action in Major League Baseball, but goddamn, we're cleaning up. That's when we got to step forward. I don't care how you're going to spread it out. Just make sure you touch all of those games and get it done, because I expect a big night for us tonight. And I appreciate all you guys hanging out, getting it done. 2 thoughts here. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. And what the hell, for $9.99 a month, become a member. We are listener supported, and we need you guys to help us pay the bills when it comes down to it. If you like what you're hearing, if you like the content, you're getting free plays on the regular, making that cash. Go out there, become a member. Go green. We got member exclusive programming. We've got things like the Circa contest entry in the NFL, only available for premium members out there. Twice a week, they do the horse races. You get yourself a stake in a virtual horse for your chance to win $50 twice a week out there. Discounts to the merch store. Get that pub rub out there. Of course, it's summertime. Barbecue's going to be flying. You're going to want to go out there and take advantage as well. Appreciate you guys all hanging tonight. Big show. Kelsey, Mel up in the house. Great to see Mel, Tori Coker, Joe Free, David Wallace, Panger, Life, Trisha M. You guys rock, man. Appreciate you hanging out with us, and you know we'll be back here tomorrow. Same time, same place, Pub Sports Radio, 6 p.m. Eastern. Last call, baby. Stay popping. Get that money.